Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Millermites podcast. My name is Owen Miller, and I'm here with my brother, Silas Miller. Silas, how you doing, man?
Good. I mean, today hasn't been the best, but...
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
Kind of sucked.
Yeah, it sucked. But that's okay, because we're talking football now,
That's right. It probably sucked because we haven't been talking football.
Right.
This is exciting because we get to finally voice our opinions. How do you feel about that?
I mean, considering we've been talking to our moms about it for the past...
Oh, yeah. She's pretty sick of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need people to listen,
Yeah, that's right. Whether they listen or not, we're going to be saying it anyways. How about it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Now, for me, the whole idea behind this was because you, my friend, you kind of live and die for college football.
I mean, you could say that.
I did.
Yeah, that's true. You could say that I live and die by football. I watch it all day Saturday.
Okay.
Which is unhealthy. I wait all year for it, and I'm excited to talk to you guys about it.
That's right, and you're very knowledgeable about it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, for those this is our first episode. For those tuning in, they're probably wondering the Millermites podcast. I mean, what is that about?
Right.
What is it about?
Well, it's about everything college football.
That's right, strictly college football. We don't talk about that NFL.
And we don't
crap.
care if you like our opinions or not.
Right, we don't care.
Because, we just don't care.
No.
At all.
I honestly, your opinion means nothing to me. That's scripture. It's biblical.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, it is. But no, we're not talking about scripture. We're not talking about the NFL. We're not talking about...
Screw the NFL.
Screw the NFL. Because my goodness.
I watched a lot of NFL yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
How about the Browns?
How about them?
How about it, man? 4-2. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah. You can't get greedy.
We're not talking about NFL.
Okay, that's right, yeah.
All right, we're talking college football. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. In the Miller Mites podcast, we decided we're going to break up each episode. I'm not sure how long they'll go. Mm-hmm. We'll figure out, after, the recording is done.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to break up each episode into 4 sections.
We'll try not to ramble too much.
5 sections.
5 sections.
5 sections, yes. We're going to do, just like football, 1st and 10, 2nd and 8.
Oh, wow, we got 2 yards there.
Yeah, we ran it.
Okay.
Right. And it was a really good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1st and 10, 2nd and 8, 3rd and 4.
The slant route.
We doubled the yards we gained
on
1st down there. Okay? 4th and goal.
Oh, wow, we were in the red zone.
We're in the red zone now.
Okay.
We're going for it. And then Hail Mary.
Hail Mary.
Yeah, not from the red zone. We lost a lot of yards.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like in the video games when you just run back. You run backwards with your quarterback.
Yeah, just see if he can make it to the opposite end zone.
Right.
Right. I love doing that. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna try to be not biased. We're gonna try to just be. We're gonna state our opinion and our thoughts.
Yes, we're not gonna be people pleasers, but we're not gonna be biased.
And we're not gonna be freaking ESPN either.
Wow. Screw ESPN.
ESPN drives me crazy.
Yep.
And part of the reason why we're doing this.
Right.
So if you like ESPN, go listen to one of their podcasts. I'm kidding. Stay here,
please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just a little heated. All right, so let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. All right, boys and girls. 1st and 10.
1st and 10.
1st and 10. This is the first 1st and 10 we've ever had.
The crowd, it's always pumped at the beginning of the game,
Yeah.
So, the energy is high.
It's high.
It's a big game.
Do you hear the bells?
I hear them now.
I hear the bells. Wow. Now I'm pumped.
Yeah. So let's get into it here.
Okay. So what we're going to do first, we're just going to state our top 10
Okay.
as of right now.
Okay.
And that can include the teams that haven't even stepped foot on the field yet.
Okay.
This COVID stuff, it's been pretty crazy. So
right.
Silas,
Yep.
I would love to hear your top 10. We're going to go for it. You're just going to say it. Just state them. You start at 10 and work your way down.
All right. Well, obviously, number 1, I've got Clemson.
Or you could start at 1 and work your way up.
Oh, is that what you said? I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter.
whatever.
No, start with one.
Okay.
We'll just go for it.
All right, not to spoil anything, but Clemson is my number one. Dropped 73 points last week.
Yeah, I mean they had no they just went off.
Yeah, and why Georgia Tech? I don't understand.
Yeah,
Well, I'm pretty sure
Why
it's
not?
because Alabama was playing Georgia and they wanted to make a statement.
yeah.
They want to stay number one. And the winner of the Alabama-Georgia game comes in at number 2. That would be Alabama.
Right. We're gonna be talking about that later.
Yes, we'll be talking about that game later.
'Cause that's what everyone wants to talk about.
Yep, 17-point victory in Tuscaloosa. They stay at number 2. At number 3, you got Ohio State. Haven't played yet. They're going to play this weekend. They're loaded. I mean, come on.
I mean, it's Ohio State.
Yeah, there's no
They don't
reason.
have to play, and they're number 3.
And did you see Notre Dame last week? I mean, there's no reason they should be number 3. I know the AP poll came out, and they were number 3, and I'm like, what? No. 12,
I believe there were 3 in the coaches poll as well.
Right, we'll get to them here in a second. At number 4, this might come as a shocker, but I got Oklahoma State.
Okay.
The Cowboys were off their second bye week in a row. Baylor postponed because of COVID.
Disappointing.
Yes, very disappointing. I was hoping to watch that game. That was Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler's first night off in a long time.
That's true.
They didn't talk on Saturday.
I didn't hear my boy Kirk at all.
Right.
Dang.
But we got to hear Joel.
We heard Joel.
Yes.
And I like Joel.
Yep. So Oklahoma State at 4, and then Notre Dame at 5.
Okay.
They're lucky. I mean,
That's a lucky 5 spot.
yep. They could have been a lot deeper down my list here, but until
They
next
haven't
week
lost.
when Penn State plays and Ohio State plays, Notre Dame's going to keep dropping unless they look more powerful. Then I got Penn State 0-0. They got at Indiana this week. That's a tricky game.
Okay. It's something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's a tricky game at 3:30. I think Penn State finds themselves these 3:30 games on the road. They usually find themselves losing. If you look in the past when they went to Minnesota or some of these other teams, they just find themselves not winning. And I think that's why this game's so tricky for them unless they are dialed in and get
Right.
the W,
Okay.
which most people probably think they will.
All right.
And then I got Georgia. They lost to Alabama, and so they didn't drop that much, but it was a 17-point loss. Stetson Bennett, man.
Right.
Georgia's got some serious QB questions there in Athens. And then BYU. BYU is rolling teams. 4-0, 5-0. I think they're 4-0.
You've got them at what spot?
8.
Wow.
Yep.
Love to see it.
You love to see teams like that, you know. That's my top group of 5 team right now out there in Utah. BYU, yeah, they're just rolling teams right now. And a lot of people have them as a sleeper for the playoff. I think Oklahoma State is the biggest sleeper for the playoff. So BYU, I'm not sure if they're there yet, but that's pretty high on my list. And then Texas A&M beat Mississippi State, Mississippi State after that first win. Wow. I mean, they're just falling apart. It's like that was a distant memory or something.
Not good.
No, but staying on the Texas A&M route, they beat them. Second win in a row after losing to Alabama, so they are up there. And then I have Oregon. I think Oregon, their defense is just insane. They haven't played yet. They're going to play in November, but that is my top team in the Pac-12, and I don't think there's any reason they should be lower.
Okay, so that's your top 10 then.
Yes.
All right. I'm not going to lie. My top 10 looks pretty similar.
Okay.
Minor differences as we go lower in the ranking. But, number 1, Clemson.
Come on.
Yeah, they're on another level. Everyone knows. We're not even going to freaking talk about them. Okay. Alabama. I've got them at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because, they beat Georgia, and they looked good doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate to put them above Ohio State, but Ohio State hasn't played a game yet. And I feel like after next week, when they do play a game, I'll have every reason to put them.
Right, and I think other voters will too. I think
Okay.
Ohio State after a 1
Yeah,
win.
so this week it's weird not having Ohio State there, but Alabama, they deserve the number 2 spot for at least this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ohio State then at number 3. And, we'll see how that goes this week.
Yep.
Oklahoma State at 4. So, so far we are identical. I like Oklahoma State. They've got Chuba Hubbard's back. I mean, not having seen them play in a while is weird, but I still like them at 4 because, they're loaded.
Right, and the
think
defense is the highlight right now.
Right, and when Spencer Sanders comes back, and I believe he will against Baylor, he's supposed to play this weekend.
Right, so he'll be there for Iowa State this weekend.
Iowa State this weekend.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Number 5, Notre Dame.
Not much to talk about there.
No, I mean, what was the score? 12-7.
Yeah,
That's just what is that?
I know. And it was at home. I mean,
I feel like Notre Dame gets a lot of love when I don't get it. I don't think they deserved it.
okay.
Okay, so number 5, Notre Dame. Number 6, Penn State.
Yep.
I mean, we'll see how that goes this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Georgia. And from here on out, we got Georgia, then Texas A&M, then Florida for me. I hate putting that many SEC schools in right now, but with like the teams that are playing and the teams that are not playing, and the records, like it sickens me. But here it is. So number 7, Georgia. Number 8, Texas A&M. Number 9, Florida, and 10, BYU.
Yep.
So I had them in there as well. So, and they're just putting up a lot of numbers.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool to see a team. I'll give it to you. I'll put you in my top 10, BYU. There you are. So there's that.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on from our top 10, Silas, I want to know what your top 5 games of the year are so far.
Okay. So, well, I'm going to be honest. I'm a guy that really likes shootouts. And what better way?
You like to see the ball in the end zone.
Yes. It's a beautiful thing. And when there's 40 to 50 points on the board, I mean, that's just my kind of game. I know most people like the defense and stuff. And defense is boring at times. Is that weird to say? Is that unprofessional? I mean,
Completely professional.
those 7 to 14 games can be fun sometimes.
That's just not for you.
No.
You want to see you like the air raid type offense.
Yes, the explosiveness. That's just the era that I've grown up with. Excuse me. So here's my top 5. Kansas State at Oklahoma, the first upset of the year, pretty much. Kansas State, the second year in a row that they took down the Sooners.
Okay.
Which, I mean, you love to see that sometimes, right? And then at number 4, we're going to stay with Oklahoma, their second upset of the year when they went to Ames, Iowa, and lost to Iowa State.
That was crazy.
Yes, that was a crazy
That was a great game, though. I agree.
And then number 3, I got Texas at Texas Tech. Sam Ehlinger went off. I don't even know how they won that game. That was insane. There in Lubbock. Right. And then Florida at A&M. A&M upset Florida. That was a pretty good game down there. And And then at number 1, Texas, Oklahoma. Double overtime.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a great game.
Yeah, you can't ask for. I mean, and then for both of them to have bye weeks afterwards, it was like they played 2 weeks of football there one night. So yes, it was pretty cool. And then the whole Oklahoma's quarterback Spencer Rattler, growing up.
He's growing up. Yes.
He's growing up. It was you love to hate him.
Yes.
Yeah, did. But he got to play. He played well later on, better than he did at the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
and in other games of the season. So
I'm pretty sure most people in the world hate him. So
yeah. So I mean, I didn't.
I've heard a lot of harsh words toward him.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad saying that. So I guess that shows how the world feels.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, top 5 games. I like that. So let's talk about what everyone wants to hear. Okay.
Okay.
Alabama, Georgia.
All right.
We didn't talk about it because this is our first episode, but like everybody is talking about it beforehand, and then afterwards, still all we want to talk about because like that was like the big game.
Right. And when the music came on for CBS, like my entire body got chilled.
I think we watched it 3 times.
Yes, we did. We just rewind it.
Yeah.
We like brought new people in the room every time.
Yeah, we're like, hey, come see the CBS intro music. Like, because that's the best part.
And then Gary Danielson came on and that kind of got done.
Then we muted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, so what was your takeaways from Alabama, Georgia?
Well, I said this earlier. Stetson Bennett, he's good. But Georgia really has questions.
He's also short.
Sheesh. That ball got batted down quite a few times. Yeah, they have questions at the QB position. I mean, Mac Jones outplayed him.
Right. Yep.
I mean, and I understand that Mac Jones' wide receiver core is out of this earth.
You can just throw it up and they'll go get it.
Yep, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, it's insane. But Mac Jones outplayed Bennett. Those picks in the second half are just questionable for Georgia, and Alabama just pulled away. That's my biggest takeaway is the QB situation at Georgia. I mean, Jake Fromm was what? I think he was a 4-star in high school.
Mm-hmm.
He never developed in college. Like, Georgia never took him to the next level. And I think this is,
Okay.
if you put this into perspective, if you go to Michigan,
Okay.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, who got drafted by the Browns, was a 5-star
Right.
out of high school. And he went to Michigan, who had a lot of hype behind him. Jim
Yeah.
Harbaugh had just come there. He never developed. He could have been lights out.
Right.
And I feel like Donovan Peoples-Jones just wasn't at Michigan.
Okay.
A lights out wide receiver.
That's kind of a hot take.
Yes. He wasn't what he was hyped up to be as
Okay.
a 5-star. And I think that's what Jake Fromm was a little bit. He went to the Rose Bowl and won and then lost in the championship. But after that, he was kind of just static.
He never advanced past that level is what you're saying?
Right. And now they have a new QB.
Okay.
And they just don't know what to do, really.
Now, could you say the same for Oklahoma and how they develop?
I think it's a different situation. I think Lincoln Riley has just been handed veteran QBs.
He's like, yeah, we'll take that quarterback from you guys. We'll just you don't want him,
just
send him
come
over here. Yeah, we'll
Yes.
take it.
He is learning right now how to develop a QB, and I think he will learn and before he goes to the NFL. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, he's going to go to the NFL.
Okay.
Lincoln Riley will.
All right. So back to the Alabama Georgia.
Okay.
Okay. So we were talking, and you said about let's continue talking about the quarterback situation.
Okay.
Because I took it away a little bit away from Georgia's quarterback and made it about Oklahoma. We don't want to talk about them.
No.
We want to talk about Georgia's quarterback.
Yeah.
Do you think they can continue to win ball games? I understand Alabama is they're like on a different level than Georgia even in terms of they have a bunch of men on their team.
Right.
And Georgia, I can say they have some, but not as many. And,
Yes.
and it showed. So with the quarterback situation with Georgia,
I think we were. Let me steal the spotlight here. I think we were. I can't think of the word. Probably misguided a little bit with Georgia.
okay,
They were really hyped with Bennett, like the Stetson Bennett train, because they beat Auburn. They beat Tennessee. And if you didn't realize, both teams lost on Saturday. Auburn lost to South Carolina. There's lots of question marks there.
Right.
Like, what was that? And then Tennessee has even more question marks as they lose to Kentucky at home. Kentucky,
they killed them
yeah, I hate to say it, but Kentucky's on like the lower end, like stereotypically.
of the SEC football.
Yes,
I agree.
and
yes,
for some reason, they put Tennessee like up there with the rest,
Right.
even though it's been like 2 decades.
so we looked at the wins that Georgia had. What you're saying,
Right.
as a lot as bigger wins than what they were.
And they were both at home.
No, we don't want to take any credit away from Georgia. Alabama, in my opinion, Alabama's good. They're a great team. Alabama's a great team.
Yeah.
Okay? Georgia's just not on that level.
Right. Offensively, I think.
Right. Defensively, they're
Defensively, Georgia's fine, and I think that's the reason they will win games.
But is it safe to say, I know there's also Florida there. Is it safe to say that Georgia's still the second best school like football program in the SEC right now?
If I were to take a guess, yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I know Texas A&M's starting to move up, and
Yes.
Florida, like you said, yes, they're there, but it's yet to be determined.
There's like a gap between Alabama and then the 2, 3, 4 in the SEC.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. And Auburn, they don't have it this year. Auburn doesn't have it this year. You saw Mac Jones played Auburn last year and lost.
Well, Auburn, they deserved to lose against Arkansas.
Yes, that was
with the spike
agree.
ball that was a fumble.
Yep.
Which was ridiculous. But I feel like I hate to do this, but like, does media play a part with how the SEC is portrayed? Because I feel like with ESPN, this is just me. I'm just
right. Yeah.
I'm just throwing this out there. ESPN, obviously, they own like SEC as a product. They've got the SEC Network. They got freaking Feinbaum, and look, I feel like ESPN really hypes up every team in the SEC.
Okay.
That's just me. I feel like I have not been personally impressed
Neither.
with SEC football this season.
I agree.
And I understand it's a COVID year, so like the football teams are obviously not at their probably if they had the full spring to train and practice, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been impressed. I don't know what the Big Ten's going to look like when they come back.
Right.
We don't know. That's why it's hard. I don't want to be too harsh yet. But so far, even the Alabama-Georgia game starting off, we had 2 interceptions in a row. I mean, it looked lackadaisical.
I agree. Yeah,
It looked like gross football.
Yeah, and let me say to ESPN's likeness,
Okay.
they did make sure people knew that the defense last week
Yes.
when Ole Miss played Alabama,
Yeah.
they did make sure people knew that was bad. Like that was inexcusable, excuse me, and that was bad. But
Inexcusable, unacceptable.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because Ole Miss, who did Ole Miss play this weekend?
Arkansas.
And
Lost. He threw 6 picks.
okay, so yeah, it just goes to show that the Alabama. That's why I was a little excited to see. I think that was the hype behind the Alabama-Georgia game because we didn't really know Alabama's full potential against a Georgia.
Yes.
Against a Florida, and then against the, you know what I mean? So anyway,
if Georgia's offense was like Ole Miss's offense, that game would be much closer because Ole Miss didn't have defense and Georgia does. That's the gap between Georgia's offense.
And Alabama was still impressive offensively. Their wide receiver game is just it's on another level. So is that all you have to say about? I know I talked a lot. I kind of took it off topic there a little bit.
No, you're fine.
Alabama, Georgia. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay,
that's good.
So we have the news of Dan Mullen, Florida's head coach, and now Jeff Brauhm.
Yes,
Purdue. They tested positive for COVID-19. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, for Brauhm, that stinks.
Yeah,
because like they're back, you know.
And
I don't really know what happened there. To be honest with you, I mean, Brauhm, I'm sure they're following protocol. That's just a freak accident. But for Mullen, this is only ironic because
absolutely.
You go back to about a week ago, and he wants 90,000 people in the stands.
he wants everybody back.
He was so in the moment with the loss to Texas A&M that he wanted 90,000 people in the stands, and then what was it? A day later, he gets tested positive for coronavirus. So that's ironic to me. He'll be fine. You saw Saban tested positive, and it took him 5 days or something like that,
right,
to get back to normal.
Which was a little weird,
right? And I think the Big Ten is going to need to change the whole 21-day protocol.
Don't like that at all.
No.
If Nick Saban can spend 5 days,
right,
and coach on the sidelines, ripping his mask off when he's ticked off.
Yes.
And then there's like somebody. What is it? Can you explain to those who don't know like what the Big Ten has right now, in terms of if a student or a player
or
staff member of the coaching squad, what happens if they get COVID-19 in the Big Ten?
Okay, so it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, if you test positive, I'm pretty sure you get to do it again to make sure it's not a false.
Right.
And then if it is, you're done for 21 days. You're quarantined by yourself for 21 days, which
is understandable. I mean, at least we're like when they announced that, I'm like, okay, we'll take it.
Right.
At least we're getting Big Ten football. Ohio State gets to play. We get to see Penn State again. That's good. But when you have the Nick Saban, when you have Alabama's head coach 5 days and he's back there on the sidelines, like say Justin Fields freak accident gets COVID-19.
Right. Here's a thought.
He's out for 3 games.
Yes, unless he gets out on like a Tuesday, but that's besides the point. So, here's some food
Hopefully
for
he gets out on a Tuesday then.
Yes. The Big Ten is not allowing public into the stadiums.
Right.
Which means, because people are like, well, what if the Big Ten gets postponed and then Ohio State can't go to the playoffs because the selection committee only saw 6 games.
Right.
Well, they're not doing what the SEC is doing with the whole public in the stands.
Yep.
They're taking more caution, like you're not going to see as many people in Columbus as you would in the SEC. which means there's less chance for like a Justin Fields grab COVID. So,
Okay. Yeah. That's a valid point. You still have to be. I know they're taking.
there's serious precautions.
Yeah, absolutely, and deservingly. Like we want everybody to take the right precautions. It is scary to think like with only like this week is when the Big Ten starts back up.
Mm-hmm.
There is no window for error.
Nope.
Like because, yeah, that's what the selection committee is looking at. And
Yep.
they need as many games as possible. Every snap counts
Yep.
for the Big Ten. So yeah, with the whole Dan Mullen and Jeff Brauhm testing positive for COVID-19, how do you feel like Florida moving forward? Like, is you'll see him on the sidelines after, or is he? Do we know?
I think you'll see him on the sideline on Saturday. He's probably in quarantine. The whole 5 days of Saban. That's what I'm basing it off of.
And how unfortunate for like Purdue.
I know.
That's just
And I know, and I saw like a bold take on 24/7 Sports saying that they could finish in the top 25 at the end of the year.
yeah.
Which I mean,
and this is not the way you want to start.
no,
Yeah,
it's not.
It's tough. It's what you never know. Like I feel like every day there's something new
Yep.
because of this pandemic, and so you have to be extra careful. Well, that concludes 1st and 10.
Okay, 1st and 10 is over. We have made it 2 yards?
Yeah, we're moving on. We're moving the sticks.
Well, not yet.
Well, we are now.
Oh, okay.
In like 1 second.
Okay, there we go.
It's 2nd and 8, Silas. We're moving the sticks.
Okay, hurry up, offense.
Yeah, we're moving.
Okay.
Yes, Silas, Texas A&M. How do you feel about Texas A&M right now? Do you feel like they are turning the tide? Jimbo.
Well, here's the thing with Texas A&M.
Is Jimbo, is he turning the tide, Silas?
I mean, not yet,
Okay.
because this goes back.
They're 3-1. They're turning the tide.
Exactly. They are 3-1. Now, listen. Hear me out here. A&M. I think this goes back to what you said about the SEC, like getting all this hype. A&M lost bad to Alabama.
It definitely wasn't pretty.
No, it was bad. I mean, they got whooped, and I think that they beat Florida, Oh my gosh, they beat Mississippi State.
They're turning the tide,
They lost
Silas.
52-24.
52-24?
Yes. That is way worse than Georgia.
But it's 2 in Alabama.
Alabama's defense got torched by Ole Miss.
That's true.
Got torched.
Is 24 not enough for you?
No.
That's not turning the tide, Silas.
I mean, Kellen Mond, for 3 years now, we looked for Kellen Mond to turn it.
Right.
And they just keep getting whooped. I feel like every year they march into Tuscaloosa, or every year they host Alabama,
Right.
and get whooped. So, no. I'm sorry. I don't think they're going to win out. They have a pretty easy schedule, but I think there's going to be a hiccup.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what was your heart like to who?
Well, let's see. I mean, someone like Ole Miss.
Right.
Someone like that. Because, I mean, Kellen Mond in that offense, they're starting to get clicking a little bit.
Okay.
But can they do it on a consistent basis?
And I'm not saying that they are turning the tide. I like hearing your take on it.
Right.
I feel the same exact way.
Okay.
Like Jimbo Fisher, to me, like I think he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's fine. I can't see Texas A&M.
For the money they're giving him, it's not worth it. And
No.
they were like, Now, here's the thing. People were saying his third year is always the year he turns it around. And this is the third year. So, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? They are
Okay.
7th. I mean,
They're 7th in the AP. They're 9th in the coaches pool. So,
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of on paper, yeah, they're turning it around. But like you said, will it last? Will they win out?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big question. You don't seem to believe that's the case.
No. And one more thing. Let's say if we put the Big Ten and the SEC right beside each other.
Okay.
And let's say there's a lot of hype on the Big Ten side for a team like Minnesota.
Right.
So
I
let's
like that.
compare.
I like that choice.
Yeah, let's take a team like Minnesota
Okay.
and a team like Texas A&M, and you compare Alabama and Ohio State.
Right.
And if Minnesota were to walk into Columbus and lose 52-24, there's no way they'd be 7th right now. And let's say they upset Penn State.
But you're also saying that Texas A&M is equivalent, like Minnesota in the Big Ten is equivalent to Texas A&M in the SEC in terms of football.
This year.
Okay.
This year. Yep.
And Minnesota stands at 21 in both AP Top 25
Right.
Coaches Poll.
And there's no way that they would be. Okay, so they were what, 21st after they lost to Alabama, and then they hopped to 11
Right.
after beating Florida. There's no way Minnesota would lose 52-24 to Ohio State and then beat Penn State and bump that much. There's no way. That loss was so bad. That loss was so bad to Ohio State. There's no way they're that good.
Right. They'd probably be unranked the next week.
Though they would have dropped out. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. So, yes, on paper, they lost to Alabama. It might look like they're turning the tide, but really, are they?
Are they?
Are
Yeah.
they? So, okay. Next topic, we got Oklahoma this weekend, and they play TCU. Silas, are they going to lose to TCU this Saturday?
I mean, how do you say no? I mean, yeah, I'm being that guy today, you know?
Okay.
Like, how can you be 100% confident that they
Oklahoma
will
right
go
now?
in there and win? I think, in my opinion, Gary Patterson
Okay.
is a better coach. He's a more experienced coach, let me
Well,
say,
yeah, absolutely more experience. Is he a
than
better
Matt
coach?
Campbell
Okay.
and Chris Kleiman. Kansas State's coach, who beat him, and Iowa State's coach, who beat him. He's way more experienced, and it's in Fort Worth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. We have thought before that Oklahoma is just going to go in there and win, and they lost twice. So I don't know if this is going to be any different. I think that they might be turning the tide a little bit after that win against Texas.
Right.
Lincoln Riley might get him on track. Get Spencer Rattler, on track. So I don't. It's hard telling. I would put money on Oklahoma, but I'm not 100% and not even close.
How close of a game do you think it'll be? Do you think it'll be...
Oh, it won't be a wide margin. When they had Baker, Kyler, and Jalen, games wouldn't be wide margin.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I feel like Oklahoma, we don't really know what they're capable of right now. And because like Texas to me, so the Texas win, yeah, you beat Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Texas is in the same boat for me as Oklahoma. Like they are like matchup wise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously we went to overtime a couple times. Like I feel like Oklahoma right now, we don't really know
They're so
how
wishy-washy.
good or how bad they are.
Yeah.
They could just be horrible.
Because we honestly don't know how bad Texas is.
Right.
So yeah.
Moving on.
Yes, moving on.
We don't want to stay sour on that for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Silas,
Yes.
California.
Okay.
We're gonna predict the best teams in California this year.
Oh, okay.
I think that'll be fun.
Yeah. This is a guilty pleasure of mine doing this.
Okay.
Let me think. So let's name some teams here.
Okay.
We got California, Berkeley.
Yep.
We got USC,
Yes.
UCLA.
Right.
We've got San Diego State, which, let's not even include that.
Yeah, they're in California, but why mention them?
Uh-huh. We got Stanford.
Okay.
And I think we'll stay there because they're all in the
That's fine. So how many we got?
4.
4 of them.
We got Stanford, USC, UCLA, and California.
Of the 4, who do you got? Best team in California this year.
They're going to hate me for this, but USC.
Okay.
Boo! I know, that's a boring pick.
Boo!
But, yeah, Keaton Slovis at QB, Ian Ross St. Brown. they're studs. I
Yeah.
mean, but can Clay Helton coach them? I mean, they've got the talent. They get the recruits every year, but
Right.
can they do it? I don't know. It's hard telling.
Okay. I like USC. I hate saying that because every year it's like USC.
Right. And I mean, it's not the coaching situation. You got David Shaw at Stanford.
Right.
You got Chip Kelly at UCLA.
Uh-huh.
And you got the guy at California.
Right.
But I just think that the talent gap is too high.
Okay.
Stanford's going down.
Yes.
California's just static.
Yeah, but how do you feel about UCLA?
UCLA is on the right track, but they're not there yet.
Right. Okay.
They're just not. They're getting out recruited. I think they're even getting out coached a little bit.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Chip Kelly, he's the one who started that. He's one of the ones that started that air raid offense.
Yeah.
And like everybody's doing that now. So
Right.
he's just like in the pack a little bit now. He's not one of the leaders.
He's kind of thrown into the middle of it.
Right. He's like one of those pioneers that doesn't get respect anymore.
Ooh. Wow. It's a little harsh, Si.
I mean,
It's Chip Kelly.
yeah, he's not doing anything, so
That is true. That is true. I mean, what is there to talk about California teams this year, really? Nothing that stands out too.
well, considering they don't start till November 7th.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's almost like a battle between themselves.
it's almost like a battle between Oregon and Oregon.
All right. Okay. So what's with Arkansas?
Wow.
What is with Arkansas?
I saw something today that said they were 6th in the power rankings for the SEC. I don't think I remember the last time they were 13th in the SEC.
Well, I mean, they look fine. It's a mess. It's a beautiful mess.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not elite at all.
You sound like
James Franklin.
you sound like James.
Uh,
Arkansas. Yeah, they're not elite. If Penn State's not elite, Arkansas is not elite.
okay, so the coaching situation, perfect. They're in a perfect situation. Sam Pittman,
Okay.
great hire there at Arkansas. They are on the right track. I mean, they should have beat Auburn. They beat
Right.
Ole Miss last week.
Technically, they beat Auburn.
They technically beat Auburn.
In my opinion, that is a win.
Yes.
Because that is just ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep, the refs blew that. But
Yeah, continue.
Arkansas is on the right track. I mean, there is a game against Texas A&M coming up
Yeah.
that they can win. It is in Fayetteville.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Oh, and they can do it. All these coaching hires, Mike Leach to Mississippi State, Lane Kiffin to Ole Miss, even the guy who went to Missouri, I don't even know his name. They had more hype than this guy, and
Right.
he is taking Arkansas, who's bad. Who was bad. And
Well,
they're
yes,
making them something.
yeah. Okay.
With Felipe Franks from
And it's
Florida.
kind of exciting.
It is.
I feel like within the SEC, Arkansas this year is kind of like, do you remember Minesweeper, that game on like PC? That old game, like everybody had that that computer game, and Minesweeper was on it that nobody knew how to play, but they would just click around until they got a bomb.
I'm trying to picture it.
Dude, come on.
I know.
Minesweeper. Okay, anyway. That's what Arkansas is like this year.
Okay.
I feel like with Arkansas, like there you don't think, okay, this little block here, it's Arkansas. Don't have to worry about it. I trust this block. I'm gonna click on it.
Right.
Boom! It's a bomb. Game over. I like that about Arkansas this year. I don't feel like they're gonna win too many upsets, but I feel like they might get one.
And right. And he's much more likable, Sam Pittman, than Brett Bielema.
Oh,
Much more likable
for
of
goodness
a
sake.
person.
What are you talking about? Bielema. That's my boy.
Why did he leave Wisconsin? Like off track.
Well,
Why did he leave?
okay.
It's the SEC train.
I feel like the SEC was he was in the Big Ten. He had a successful. Am I right? Did he coach Russell Wilson?
I think.
I'm not sure.
Let me look.
I'm not sure.
I think.
But he was at a very successful Wisconsin at the time.
Okay.
Then the SEC comes around, and they're like, there was a lot of hype.
Uh-huh.
SEC was like all everyone was talking about. They were successful, winning national championships. He was like, you know what? Everyone's getting like success over there. Mm-hmm. I feel like he went to the SEC because he thought he could be successful. Too bad he went to freaking Arkansas. And I don't feel like he
did stuff. He did stuff.
He did stuff.
He got the windmill winding.
It was winding.
It
was turning.
Churning.
It was
creating wind.
It was the wind was a very slow
breeze.
Yeah, it would cool a room, but it didn't. but it didn't. They were never a threat.
Didn't freeze you.
Right. I want to be freezing cold. I need some AC wind turbines, bro. And that was not Bielema.
No, that was Alabama.
Yeah, it was.
Not Bielema. Bama.
Yes.
So if you do like the equation thing with the little alligator.
Oh, the greater than less than sign?
Yes, yeah. Bama, Bielema.
And then you had the alligator mouth.
Pointing towards Bama.
Not pointing, like open towards.
Open, yeah. Like eating it. You know,
man.
Like your teachers used to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Did you figure out if Bielema, did he coach Wilson? I don't know.
Who
cares? No, we don't want to talk about Bielema anymore. Same thing with Arkansas. How do you feel about Ole Miss?
Okay, not good.
Not good. Okay.
6 picks for this kid. I think it was a little bit of a hangover.
Oh gosh.
It was a bit of a hangover.
Yeah.
I mean, they put up 48 against Alabama.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna sling it.
Right. And that's one thing they didn't do against Alabama was throw a lot.
Okay.
They ran and ran and ran.
Right. Well, he's like, oh, well,
and they would
Alabama. I'm just gonna throw the crap out of this ball.
Right, and they would throw it randomly.
Yeah.
For big plays. They would get Alabama biting, and boom, they'd beat them.
Right.
But they're if you look back to that game, their defense just didn't do it.
Oh gosh,
it was bad. Whew.
I feel like the positivity we somehow talked about with Arkansas. Like, it's like the total opposite feeling with Ole Miss. Even though they did that to Alabama. Like, no, I don't care. That was just not good on Alabama's part.
Exactly.
The whole Ole Miss thing, it needs to die because I don't see anything there.
Yep. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks.
Yeah,
2 of them being pick sixes, I think. Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
That is very, very ridiculous.
14 points off of 2 picks.
Mm-hmm. You know why?
What?
It's because Arkansas's jerseys. They look just like Oklahoma. It's insane.
It did, didn't it?
They look just like Oklahoma.
Wow.
Maybe it's them jerseys.
They just need a new color scheme.
Well, I guess. I thought the colors looked pretty similar.
Okay.
I mean, in my opinion, the colors looked like perfect. If you put Oklahoma and Arkansas on the field that day.
Yeah. You'd be confused.
Yeah.
You'd be confused.
Yeah.
Okay. That concludes our 2nd and 8, Silas.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're moving on.
The slant pass.
The slant pass, yes.
Yeah. They grabbed our shoelace.
Yeah.
Yeah. We fell.
What?
We fell.
We fell.
But then we got back up, and here we are, 3rd and 4, right?
3rd and 4. Here we are.
We're doing it.
We're moving the chains, Silas.
Yes. You don't move the chains until you get a first down. That's what I was trying to say earlier.
Well, I want them to move for my 3rd and 4.
Well, they can just, like, tiptoe a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. The Big Ten is back.
Finally.
We're going to be talking about the games this week.
Okay.
For the Big Ten.
Okay.
And I mean, of course, we're going to start with the Nebraska at Ohio State game.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything to talk about there other than that Nebraska's new jerseys?
What the heck are those?
I mean, we talked about this earlier, and you said something kind of funny, to where like Nebraska.
Oh yeah, the trailer.
Yeah.
For their jerseys was a horror movie.
Right, they had like a commercial promoting, like trying to get Nebraska fans hype.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because like, hey, be scared. Because this is going to be ugly.
And I like that Ohio State's staying quiet about it. Like, I think they're just going to show up on the field. and
Okay.
that's going to be a horror movie.
Right. It's like
That was the joke.
yeah. So yeah, absolutely. It was funnier when you said it earlier.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
It was very funny. Nebraska Ohio State. Do you have anything to say about that game?
I mean, Nebraska's going to try. Scott Frost said earlier today he believes Ohio State's going to be ready.
Okay.
He hopes they are. They don't even sound confident. So that might be a nightmare there in Columbus
Might
for
be.
the Cornhuskers.
Oh my goodness. And it's sad because like Nebraska, I mean, their football program used to be legit.
Yeah.
But like I feel like with as over the years with the Alabamas, with the Clemsons now and the Ohio States, like Nebraska, like who wants to go play football in Nebraska?
Right now, like Clemson is the new version of Nebraska.
Right. That's a good point.
I think, yeah, Nebraska was always 1, 2, or 3. And that's what Clemson is nowadays. And just think about, like, if you think 30 years down the road, Clemson might be awful. Who knows? Because Dabo sure won't be coaching. 30, I hope not.
You said 30 years? Oh, he'll be out there.
It would be like Bill Schneider.
He'll still be dabbing and doing his little locker room dance.
TikToks, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Nebraska at Ohio State. Look out for those Nebraska jerseys.
Now, expect one more thing for that game. Expect Ohio State's defense to be a little bit not as dominant.
It could be a little ugly at first.
Yeah, and they'll just get right into it, though.
Yeah, it's going to be
I mean, you
weird.
lose 2 first-round picks, 2 top 5 picks.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
that's going to hurt a little bit, even
feel
for
like-
a team like Ohio State.
I feel like there's going to be rust for every team in the Big Ten this weekend. Deservingly.
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't want people to be like, "Oh, what's the Big Ten doing? Like, what's wrong?"
Right, and I think that's why Penn State and Michigan both are on upset alert. Is because they're on the road. It's not like they have their home
Like
stadium.
Ohio State's at home, but then you got Penn State, you've got Michigan, and they're not.
Right. So, like, you could be a little rusty at first, and you're not even in your state, which can... that affects things a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if there is only 16,000 fans. Like, that can affect things.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, now that we're talking about that, Penn State at Indiana is another one I wanted to highlight because Indiana, like, I mean, they're not as good as Penn State, but Indiana, like, they don't stop trying so hard.
right.
They're try hard.
They're go-getters, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, they're like the JV team.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we're against the varsity. We're gonna see if we can get the varsity to run laps today.
Yes.
That's what.
That's Indiana. Yep.
Yeah, it's like let's just go out there and try our darndest.
That was very disrespectful to Indiana fans, but
Yeah,
you guys have the movie Hoosiers, so
Yeah, like why do you watch football?
right.
Penn State at Indiana. What do you have to say?
This is gonna be like a 34-27 type of game
Okay,
where I think Indiana will be up like 14-0,
man, that's okay.
and then like Penn State will trickle back 14-14, 21-21.
Yeah, they'll get
And then
excited.
One of them will pull away. One of them will get like 35, 34,
But
and
do
the
you-
other will be down by 2 touchdowns, something like that, and then they'll score at the end.
And you do feel like Penn State will pull it off?
Yes, because I'm a coward.
Because you're a coward?
Yes, I'm a coward.
I thought you said because you're a coward, like Colin Coward.
No, like I'm a coward.
Right. You're scared.
Yeah, I'm scared.
You're scared to say Indiana will beat them.
Yes.
You know,
Even though it would not shock me
in the
at
slightest.
all.
Look,
No Micah Parsons.
yeah, we're not throwing any disrespect to Indiana. I'd say we're throwing them a bone. We're like, hey, you have a really good chance to
Go
beat Penn
fetch
State.
tryhards.
Go beat this not elite Penn State team. Go get it.
Poor James.
All right, Michigan and Minnesota. That one, I mean, I want to hear your take on this because I feel like I know what you're gonna say, and it's not in the Wolverines' favor. So hit me.
Okay, you're right.
Okay. Yes.
I just don't think there's any reason why Michigan should even be favored.
Wow.
I mean, what, Michigan's 18th right now and Minnesota's 21st?
Okay.
I mean, you already get 3 points to your side because you're home, which helps Minnesota, but...
I like Minnesota. I like them.
Okay. Yeah, Rashad Bateman opting back in
Yeah.
instead of going to the draft.
And they're home?
Yes, they're home. And I think If you look back at Michigan's openers, it's not pretty.
Okay.
It's not pretty. I mean, the one year they beat Florida, but Florida was, they had what, Jim McElwain as their head coach. They were not what they are now.
No, absolutely not.
But they did lose to Notre Dame on the road.
Yeah, that's a big opener. They always have big openers.
Yeah, they did not. The Big Ten did not give Michigan a favorable schedule at all.
No.
No,
They have
I'm
Wisconsin
expecting
too,
like
right?
3 losses from Michigan. Yeah, they have Wisconsin. They have Penn State.
At least 3 losses.
I know. Yeah. So I do not expect Michigan to win.
Okay.
I think they can.
I think they can too.
I think they can, but just don't look
It'd be
for
cool
it.
to see. It'd be cool to see Minnesota pull that one off.
Right, row the boat.
Row the boat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially against Michigan.
Yeah, just keep rowing that boat.
Yeah.
That's where college game day's going. That'll be a good game. That'll be a good game.
It'll be a good game. I'm excited.
I'm just happy it's back.
I know. It's good to see. Like college football is college football, but honestly, without the Big Ten, like it's just like you're missing that weird uncle that you have to have. You know what I mean? Like like it's the party doesn't start until the Big Ten's here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So come on, weird uncle. Keep talking about the Big Ten here. Who are the best players in the Big Ten? Who are your top 5? In the
Okay.
Big Ten? Obviously, Sam.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Boom.
Staying with Ohio State, you got Sean Wade on defense.
Okay.
Then you got Rashad Bateman for Minnesota.
Yeah. Yep.
Opting back in. Micah Parsons would have definitely been on this list.
Oh, absolutely.
But he stayed out, which kills Penn State.
That is another reason why Indiana
could win.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Because I just don't feel like they're expecting to win. It's not like they don't want it as much. Like I feel like the teams that want it more, their guys came
that
back.
JV team wants it.
Yes.
They want it. They want to see those laps ran.
And Minnesota hasn't even hit that varsity level.
Right.
Like if you look at the past,
Okay.
they're starting to. They're creeping up. That's why Rashad Bateman comes back.
Yeah. Momentum for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
So
then-
you said Justin Fields,
Justin Fields.
Sean Wade.
Yep.
Not Michael Parsons. He's
Rashad
gone.
Bateman.
Rashad Bateman.
Rondale Moore.
Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore. Okay.
Rondale Moore,
What do you
really
like about
good wide receiver for Purdue. He's a little guy.
him? Okay.
Really explosive. He's the one that killed Ohio State as a freshman.
That's right.
Like, couldn't tackle him. Ohio State just did not come to play. They couldn't tackle him.
And that would make
He almost went to the draft. He opted back in.
Okay.
And then last, I've got Hutchinson for Michigan. I mean, he's good. I don't really know like a whole lot about him.
Aiden Hutchinson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. No. Yeah. His dad played for them back in the 1980s and 90s. So yeah, he's a good player. That's who my 5th player is. Aiden Hutchinson, Michigan. But the others are like head and shoulders.
And he's a defensive lineman?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good 5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously Justin Fields. And then,
Like I didn't want to put I could have put another Ohio State player on there. To
yeah,
be
but
honest.
I mean, yeah, let's just name. I mean, you got Trey Sermon didn't make it on there.
Trey Sermon,
Even
Chris Olave,
Master Teague.
Yeah, even Master Teague,
Yeah. So anyway,
Wyatt Davis.
right, we could just name Ohio State players and say they're the best in the Big Ten all day, but so as we talked about earlier, Michigan. They'll be lucky to win, right?
I think so. I think if Michigan doesn't win,
Right.
fans will be infuriated
Okay.
because I think they're expecting to win. Michigan fans expect to win,
Yeah.
which is, I mean, okay, but Harbaugh is in deep trouble. I think.
I don't feel that way. I feel like he's fine.
I don't know.
People love
It's just
Harbaugh.
starting to. It's like Tom Herman a little bit. Like it's just starting to like rise to the surface.
Okay.
Like holy crap, do something.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
I feel like Harbaugh is love him or hate him, he has to put up with a lot.
Oh yeah,
In Ohio.
it's highlighted. It's his losses in the top 25 are highlighted.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I think he's doing what all the past Michigan coaches have done.
Yeah.
But it's because Ohio State is just
You've got the three teams. The three teams consistently: Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State. Harbaugh, I feel, is really trying his best. They're not even close to being on that level of those three teams. And unfortunately, the biggest rivalry in sports, Michigan has to play Ohio State every year.
Yep.
And they're, no matter how good they are, how many games they win leading up to the game, Ohio State tops off every time.
Yep.
So it is what it is. Until you can find a Ryan Day or a Dabo Sweeney that can take over Michigan football.
Maybe Michigan fans are a little bit delusional. Maybe they think they deserve better. I think this goes with Texas too. I think they deserve something better than Jim Harbaugh, even though Jim Harbaugh is doing things historically that Michigan hasn't seen before.
That's true.
But they're Michigan. They want to be better. I know. I'm sorry, Michigan fans.
That's true.
But he's doing stuff that Michigan has never seen before, but he just can't.
It would suck.
Finish.
It would suck as a Michigan fan to never see your team beat Ohio State unless Luke Fickell's coaching, or you're in the playoff. Or you never get to see Michigan in the playoff.
Yeah, they almost did. They were at the peak a few years ago.
Yeah, and Ohio State said, "Yeah, I don't think so."
They were getting 5 stars left and right. Now it's starting to deteriorate a little bit. They're getting 4s, 3s.
Yeah. Well, also the Harbaugh hype is gone.
Yep.
Like when he first came, they were like, "Oh, my son's gonna play for Harbaugh." Anyway, Alabama, Tennessee, the third week of October rivalry.
Oh, great.
Alabama, Tennessee game. Let's talk about that a little bit.
A little bit, please.
Yeah, let's not dive deep into that, especially after Tennessee.
I'm sorry. It's in Tennessee? It's in Tennessee? No, guys. I mean, yeah, it's in Knoxville, but...
Where's that?
So was last week's game against Kentucky when they ran it up on them.
Yeah. Yep.
Jeremy Pruitt, that train just crashed.
Yeah.
And
burned.
I think he needs to get an elite quarterback because Jarrett Garantano ain't doing it. He's not doing it.
Okay.
He's throwing picks left and right. I remember watching him 3 years ago. I feel like he's been at Tennessee since he was 12. He's been
there forever.
I remember Jeremy Pruitt grabbing his face mask, yelling at him.
That's true. Yeah.
What?
It's stained in my mind.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, it happened when I was 2.
Yeah. Garantano been there since forever.
Right, yeah. And your prediction?
Alabama by 40.
By 40.
Yes, because Tennessee's offense can't do it.
40 points?
Alabama will win by 40.
Holy crap. Okay.
Tennessee.
Yeah, they're always ranked higher than they should be.
They lost by 23 to Georgia, and Georgia's offense isn't even that good.
Yeah. That concludes our 3rd and 4.
Yes!
We're not moving the chains.
Oh, we didn't get there.
It's 4th and goal.
Oh, man. I'm excited. I'm good in clutch time.
4th and goal is easy, though. We're right there. And all we have to do is our predictions for the week. And we've pretty much done all of that. We've pretty much already done our predictions for the week.
Right.
Yeah. So we're just going to review them.
Okay.
Alabama, Tennessee. You had Alabama by 40?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Most professional pickers don't pick, such high numbers.
Yeah.
But, I just don't see how it's any closer.
I don't either.
What the heck?
I say Alabama wins pretty easy. I don't think they'll put up that much. But if they do, I won't be surprised either.
Okay.
Ohio State, Nebraska. I say Ohio State. That's my prediction. I'm not even going to give a score because, you know what? I have no idea. Ohio State, not a problem.
Okay, yeah, I think Ohio State might come out slow. That's one of my hot takes is that they're gonna the first 10 minutes might be, I don't know, 7-0, 10-0 Ohio State, which is saying something because that's not even slow to some teams.
Right.
But the game will end with a pretty handy score for Ohio State.
Right. Okay. Penn State, Indiana.
Up for grabs for me. I'm gonna say Penn State holds off.
Okay.
Indiana on
in
the
a
road.
Close one?
Yeah, very close.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could be that kind to Indiana. I think Penn State they'll take care of business pretty handily. I think it'll be a slow start for both teams.
Okay.
But I got Penn State by a pretty good margin.
Yeah, they'll both be 1-0 going into October 31st against Ohio State. Ohio State and Penn State will be 1-0.
I thought you meant Indiana. Indiana and Penn State they'll both be 1-0.
They'll both be 1-0
after this week. Iowa State, Oklahoma State. Who you got?
All right. Well, the Cyclones are playing good football after that ugly first loss to Louisiana.
Right.
Louisiana lost last week, so like that whole Louisiana's good.
Yeah.
That's over.
That's not a thing anymore.
They shouldn't have lost that game.
Right.
But I got the Pokes at home.
Okay.
I got them. I'm going to give a score of 35-21. I think Iowa State will be probably one of the better offenses that they see.
Yeah.
But the Pokes will win.
Okay. I agree with Oklahoma State winning. I think it'll be a really close game though, pretty much up until the end.
Okay.
That's all I got. And finally, Michigan, Minnesota. Silas?
I got Minnesota.
All right. There's no way I can pick Michigan. I'm going Minnesota as well. I think it'll be close.
Okay.
Very close. That concludes our 4th and goal.
Here we go.
Here we go. I've got something for us. Do you hear the bells?
I hear them now.
I hear the bells. We haven't moved the chains, but somehow we got a second chance. It's our Hail Mary.
We ran backwards with our running back or our
We're at, it's our Hail Mary. Our final thoughts and hot takes. Silas, I'd love to hear your hot takes.
Okay. Texas loses their 3rd straight game.
Oh my goodness.
Home to Baylor. Baylor came off. I mean, they haven't played much ball, to be honest. They played, 2 games?
Right, so that's a really hot take.
Postpone, game, postpone.
Yeah. I don't like Texas, though, at all.
No,
And
I just think they're...
Yeah.
It's like Taco Bell when it's like in the car for 4 hours.
Oh my goodness, that's like in a hot car.
In a
on
hot,
on a summer day.
In Nevada.
Who does that? Texas.
Texas does that.
Texas does that.
Baylor will win with Dave Aranda as the new head coach. Baylor struggled against West Virginia, got postponed against Oklahoma State. They will take down Texas.
Okay, I like that a lot, and that would be really cool going into the Oklahoma State game.
Yes,
and to have if Baylor were to pull it off against Texas, then you got Oklahoma State, and they pull it off this weekend. Let's see, excuse me, who do they play? Iowa State, I'm sorry. So, yeah, that would be really good if Oklahoma State were to beat Iowa State. Baylor beats Texas,
Yep.
and you got them too.
Oklahoma State would have all the momentum.
Later on, when did they reschedule that game?
December 12th.
Okay. Oh, well, that's a while away. But, yeah, that'd be cool. I like that hot take. And I feel like that concludes our first episode.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. You got anything else?
I'm good. I mean, we got to talk about a lot of stuff here.
Silas, I've had fun.
Yes, I have too.
This is cool. We're learning. We've got our kinks out of the way. The first episode's probably the scariest.
Yeah.
But that was real good. So, guys, watch college football this weekend.
Watch it.
Yes. Come back next week. We will be talking
About the Big Ten.
About the Big Ten and see how they did. Hopefully everything went well.
Yeah.
Stay safe with everything. Come back next week. Every week we're going to have an episode talking about college football and how everything's playing out for the season. That's it.
Yeah. Yep. Peace.
We'll see you guys.